All right, so yes, this is part 4 of my testimony about why I believe what I believe. Why am I a believer in Christ? Why am I a Christian? And I started off with part 1 about my formative years when I just got baptized, and I was going to church for a long time since I was a child. And then part 2 talked about the process of getting into university and the challenges that I faced during that time and how God helped me through. And then part 3, which I did last week, where I talk about going through university. Started off really easy, then it got difficult, then it got kind of easy. And now I'm at part 4, and this is after university now. Leading up to when I'm in Japan, to the first part when I'm in Japan. I think I will try to do the second half of when I'm in Japan next time. So my scripture for today is Isaiah 41 verse 10, and it says, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I'll strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." But yeah, so now I left University of Technology with a degree in computing and information technology. And again, the first thing that was on my mind is, get a job, because I want to pay off my loan. What I didn't want was a teaching job, because I always hear about people just doing whatever degree and then gone into teaching, and that was one of the first things that was on my mind. I do not want to teach. So I looked for all kind of jobs with that have to do with computing. I did my minor was in networking, so I was looking for those kind of jobs with having to do with networking and computing and routers, fixing computers and that kind of stuff. I was one of the first ones in my little group to get an interview, and I got an interview to be like one of the things I want to do, like a network specialist kind of thing. Didn't work out, didn't get that job. Aww. One of my friends introduced me to another place that, just to get just to start off, just to get some money. Has nothing to do with computing. It was actually at a kind of casino kind of place in Jamaica, at a hotel. Went there, first day. Pay was pretty good. You'd have to work hard, but the pay was pretty good. It's pretty much showing people how to use I think slot machines and just pretty much gambling, showing people how to gamble. And I went there the first day I got the job, and just that very same day I just felt uncomfortable. I just tell the lady, like, I don't think I can do this, And she was like, no, come on, wait a sec, let's talk some more about this. And I'm like, nah, this is not it, man. This is not for me. So I just pretty much walked off and left that. I just so happened during that time, I guess during the summer of 2005, yes, summer of 2005. A pastor, he was the chairman of a school board, and he said, "We have a job right here for you to teach computing." And I was like, here we go, the teaching thing. But I said, well, it's to pay off the loan, so I'm gonna take the job. Like my standard was at the time to get a job that pays at least at that time would be like 80,000 Jamaican dollars, or I guess eight about roughly 800 US dollars per month. It's not a lot, but that was what I was looking for at the time. And the job was paying half of that. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to pay off. The main thing is to pay off my loan. So I got that job. And again, it was to teach computing to kids at a primary school or elementary school, whatever you call it. It was in a different parish in Jamaica. This parish is called Clarendon, in the city of Maypen in Clarendon. So I did that for about 6 to 8 months, and it was all right. It was kind of flexible. That's what I liked most about it. It was flexible. I think I started working at about 8, and I could leave by 3 o'clock and just do whatever I wanted to do. This was the first time living away from my home, the house that I grew up in. And so I would just I used to go home on the weekends. I rented a room there in Maypen, Clarendon. Anyway, did that job for about 6 months, 6 to 8 months. Then I got another job, and this was actually my pastor's wife was the manager at an academy, and she talked to the people, and I got an interview, and I guess they liked what I said, and I got the job there to teach at an academy. And similar, it was teaching computing, but more it's computing and professional development. So I would have groups of up to like 40 adults, and I would teach them about professional development and stuff like that, but focus on computing and preparing them for the workplace. I would have them for about, I don't remember, maybe like 4 to 5 months, and teaching them different modules. And then after 4 to 5 months, they're out. Then a next batch would come, and I would teach them again each day. And it was a very, very tough job, because it's balancing kids or people who just left high school, like 17-year-olds in the same class with like a 60, 70, 80-year-old. So and you have to balance everything, right? So how you teach, and everybody's getting a test at the end of a module. Everybody's getting a test. So you have the 17-year-olds who are very fast at the computer and clicking away and really good, and then you have like a 60-year-old person. When you say okay, hold the mouse, and they say, what house? That kind of thing, right? And you're trying to get them to hold the mouse, and they're like turning their hands this way, and you have to fight with them to hold the mouse, that kind of stuff. And to prepare the lessons was really detailed, and my boss at the time was quite detailed. So if you leave off an A somewhere, she's gonna like, hey, look at your lesson plan right here. So it was a tough job, and it was that, and being on a committee there, and doing a lot of stuff, and taking care of adults. Yeah, was tough. So every Sunday I was looking in the newspaper for a new job, and then finally I saw this job, this thing in the newspaper saying, teach in Japan. All you need is a degree in anything. I'm like, oh, well, I like to travel. Yeah, I like to travel. I've never been to Japan before. All right. Let's go to Japan then. So I applied, and it was a little shady because there's no number. You couldn't. There's nowhere you could call. It's just an email address that's giving you direction to go downtown Kingston, somewhere. And I was like, oh, this looks shady. But you know what? I'm gonna go. Did the interview and everything. And yeah, I got the job. And it just went, and it was good. Then now it's time to go to Japan. I'm in Japan. This is 2008 March. I'm in Japan. Didn't know what I was getting myself into. I asked them to put me in the countryside because I wanted to save some money. So I pretty much moved to this area called Nimi in Okayama. And I lost weight. For the first 2 months. I couldn't get into the food. I didn't like the food. It was really rough. And I don't like to be in that kind of down situation. So I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna dive into this culture and I'm not going to make this thing get the better of me. So I just started going around to some English lessons, started asking people about stuff, started studying Japanese, started doing karate, different things. And I landed I started doing a TV show. So I was on TV every day. My Canadian friend had this TV show and he left and he wanted somebody to continue it. So I started this TV show named Dave no Ego de Utemin Say. Utemin Say is like say it with Dave or something like that. It literally means what is going on. So I did that and I started actually to get popular in that little area. And it was fun. It was nice. I enjoyed doing karate. I started playing soccer. So I had a good schedule. Every day I pretty much had a schedule except Saturday where I could do whatever I want. But every single day, Monday, Tuesday, throughout the week, I had something to do. And I really enjoyed that time. So I did that for like 3 years in the countryside. And I decided, you know what? Actually, after the second year in that doing with the schools that I had and everything, I started to feel bored. I'm like, this, you feel stagnant. And it's something in Japan. You kind of feel, when you're doing this job, you kind of feel stagnant sometimes. So, I started to feel stagnant. And before I continue on that, one thing I can tell you about Japan, the countryside, and then you have the city. The countryside, the people are usually more friendly, and you have a community. They take a little while to get warm up to you, but when they warm up to you, they'll be your friends for life. That's my experience in the countryside of Japan. I had friends there. Some of them are still my friends to this day. It was good, nice community thing. But when you move to the city now, the city, there's not so much of a community spirit in the city in Japan. You're pretty much on your own. So it can get lonely. In the countryside, it does get lonely because you're in the middle of nowhere. But you have that community. In the city, you have a lot of places to go, but you don't have that community. So unless you are lucky. Some people are lucky that get the community in the city. Right? Anyway, got kind of tired of the countryside. And so I moved to the city. I wanted to move to Kobe, but that didn't work out. So I moved to Yokohama. And that's where I am to this day. I moved to Yokohama in 2011, right after the big earthquake in March 2011. Actually, 2 weeks after that big earthquake. So earthquake, it was just shaking a lot when I moved here. This is after not feeling earthquakes at all when I was living in Okayama. To regular occurrences of earthquake when I moved to Yokohama. So anyway, moved to Yokohama, teaching elementary school. I did elementary school for 2 years in Yokohama. So a total of 5 years of teaching elementary school. And again, felt like, stagnant again. Feel, I want a change. So this time, instead of moving to another city, I decided I want to teach high school instead of teaching elementary school. But if I teach high school, I'd be doing part-time. It's a part-time contract, so I'd have to do other jobs to supplement my income. And to be honest, going back, the plan was to come to Japan to stay only 1 year. 1 year. And then now it's what, 16 years? The plan was to stay 1 year. And that was one of the other reasons why I wanted to move to the city. I didn't want to spend all my time in the countryside, in the rural part of Japan. I wanted to experience the city. So I said, okay, after 3 years, I'm going to spend 1 more year in the city. But I fell in love with Yokohama and I'm here to this day. Anyway, yeah. So I got the job to teach at high school. And yeah, I had my own schedule. I mean, I locked in myself to do high school, and I was doing like 5 or 6 or 7 other jobs, right? During that time, during that 1 year. And it was rough because one of the jobs that was supposed to pay me like a big amount of money, that didn't work out. So I had to be like scraping here and there, and my savings was kind of depleting. Yeah, so I was doing like 5, 6, 7 different jobs, and that was 2013 actually. And I remember one day, and this I've been talking a while now, but this was the main thing though. When I was in one day I was at one of my jobs. It was at the YMCA, and I started to think, what's next? I'm like, I don't want to continue like this. Don't want to continue like this. And I was there at the YMCA, and I was pretty much saying to God, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. What's happening? I don't know. What's next? I don't want to keep on teaching. I don't want to be running around doing 5, 6, 7 jobs and barely making ends meet. What am I gonna do? Right there, I was talking to God. And I kid you not, during that time, I got a call from my company asking, hey Dave, are you interested in becoming a trainer/manager? And I'm like, what? And I'm like, God, is this real? And I said, sure. And I said, this and they told me like, this has nothing to do with teaching. I said, it's management. You'll be managing ALTs. Are you interested? And I'm like, yeah. Let's see. So I did the interview, and I got that job to be a trainer/manager, and I was managing about 150 English teachers at the time in different boards of education across this area, Yokohama, Kanagawa area. And then so that's the first half. I'm going to have to continue this next time. So that's the first part of this. But yeah, God helped me out in that situation. So while I was there worrying, God already had this plan for me. And it actually gets more exciting when you hear what's coming next after becoming a trainer. But yeah, stay tuned for part 5 of why I believe what I believe. God bless you.